in parts of West Bengal following widespread protest against the Waqf Amendment Act. Now, after Murshidabad, fresh demonstrations and incidents of unrest have also been reported from South 24 Pragnas district as well. In Murshidabad's Dhuliyan town under Jangipur subdivision, violence broke out on 11th of April. Residents allege that several homes and shops were set on fire during the chaos. In Sodepur Bazar, miscreants vandalized a police vehicle. Firefighters and police personnel have since been deployed to clear the damage and maintain law and order in the area. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, speaking in Kolkata, urged for peace and communal harmony. She said that the religion should not be used for political purposes.
আবার বলি, ধর্ম যার যার আপনার, উৎসব কিন্তু সবার। আমরা সবাই সব উৎসবে মিলিত হই। কেন হই? তার কারণ কবিগুরু রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুরের গান, সবারই করি আহ্বান, এসো উৎসুক চিত্ত, এসো আনন্দিত প্রাণ। লাস্টের দিকে বলেছেন, সুন্দরেরই পাদপীঠ তলে, যেখানে কল্যাণ দীপ জ্বালে, সেটা হোক স্থান, সবারই করি আহ্বান। আমরা সব জায়গাতেই যাই।
All right, that's Mamata Banerjee, of course, speaking on the protests that continue in Bengal, protests that soon turned into riots after Murshidabad town saw violence breaking out on April 11th. We're given to understand more than 150 plus people have been arrested. There are fresh revelations now coming in that perhaps a sinister play, a plot is what resulted in that violence that you can see on your screens, police vehicle that has been turned down, and parts of Murshidabad vandalized, resulting in Hindu families fleeing to the nearby districts.
नवमी के पहले से ही पूरा बंगाल में उत्तेजना फैलाना, भय का वातावरण बना करके हिंदू को घर में बंद करने की जो साजिश रची थी वो सफल नहीं हुई। मोथाबाड़ी में हो, मुर्शिदाबाद के झाओबना में, जंगीपुर में, हुगली, श्रीरामपुर में, मेदिनीपुर में जगह जगह उत्तेजना और हिंसा का वातावरण बनाया गया कि राम मंदिर, रामनवमी का उत्सव ना बनाए हिंदू, लेकिन हिंदू दुगना ज्यादा शक्ति से उत्सव मनाया, जवाब दिया है। इसलिए जहां जहां हिंदू कम संख्यक है वहां जानबूझ करके उत्तेजना फैला करके लोगों को डराना, धमकाना और वहां से निकालना, उसको बांग्लादेश बनाने का जो साजिश चल रही है, ममता सरकार उसको मदद कर रही है। ये बार बार बोलना बाहरी है, बिहारी है, ये नाटक क्यों है? अगर बांग्लादेश से आया तो बांग्लादेश के लोगों को पकड़ो, बिहार से आया तो, झारखंड से आया तो उसको पकड़ो। पुलिस क्या कर रहा है? आरोप लगाना सरकार का काम नहीं है, निर्णय लेना और कार्रवाई करना ये राज्य सरकार का काम है, वो नहीं करती है। अगर इनके लीडर बॉबी हाकिम बोलते हैं कि बाहर तो नहीं है बंगाली, बंगाल में ही है, वो खुश होंगे क्या? बंगाली बंगाल छोड़कर चले जाएं, या दुर्गा पूजा, काली पूजा बंद हो जाए, नववर्ष बंद हो जाए, होली बंद हो जाए, वहाँ क्या खाली अजान नमाज चलेगा और ईद मुहर्रम चलेगा? बांग्लादेश बनाने चाह रहे हैं, यही तो हम बार बार बोल रहे हैं, यही साजिश चल रही है। बंगाली को बंगाल से निकाल करके उसको बांग्लादेश बनाने का साजिश चल रही है।
Serious allegations currently at play when it comes to that violence in Murshidabad. Who was responsible? Various agencies coming out with different reports. But all in all, questioning Mamata Banerjee, her government's role in trying to contain those violence, and if enough and more was really done on time, if there was inaction on Mamata Banerjee government's part, and whether they acted on time to contain rioters. Jayanta Bhattacharya, senior journalist, joining us on the show. Also with us is Subir Dey, a senior journalist. Jayanta, I want to come to you first. A variety of allegations have now surfaced. There are reports also suggesting that it was in fact a plot that was in making for a while now, where writers were paid in advance to the tune of 500 rupees to create the ruckus that they did.
Shweta, there's a number of issues here which is of grave concern. One is that why such inputs are not available with the intelligence agencies. Why is it that only after the violence happens, this kind of a situation takes place, that we tend to get such information? Secondly, what was happening in these border areas? As you know, this border is very porous. We have heard about cattle smuggling and all that. Incidentally, some of the ruling parties, I mean, the state ruling parties, leaders were also convicted in that issue. And why was it left like that, especially after what is happening in Bangladesh today? It's not a very good situation over there. And if that taking into consideration that situation and the earlier happenings, this kind of happening, it took place even during the anti-CAA protests. It took place much before that in Malda. There were money, foreign currency were found there. I mean, Bangladeshi taka was found there, etc., etc. So why not more years on the ground in these places, which is of concern, and especially when the border is so porous? So this raises a number of questions. And considering the issue, the biggest festival of democracy is going to come next year, and just about a year or so. That is, state elections are to be held sometimes later, after a few months. So why is it that all these issues come to the fore, and especially during religious celebrations, and the protests which were aimed at the union government are taking place at such a area, such this border areas? So all these questions need to be addressed rather than turning it into political. There has to be more years on the ground, and care has to be taken that such things do not happen in the future. And more of concern is this happening in just the doorstep of the capital, Kolkata, which incidentally is under the Kolkata police. And that is why I saw the people attacking Kolkata police vehicles. It was not the Bengal police. So if it is taking at the doorstep of the Kolkata, that is the state capital, then it is of more concern. So the administration has to wake up.
Absolutely.
Perhaps it's
Needless
late,
to
but
say
it
that.
has to wake
I want to come. I'll come back to you, Jayanta. Let me also quickly get in Subir. Subir, Jayanta raised some very important, points here, and it's not really about politics. Who's responsible? Who did more? Who did less? If such an attack, such a riot was pre-planned, the government agencies, not just the state government agencies, but the central government agencies should have been able to foil them on time. So it's as much a responsibility of intelligence agencies at the center as it is in the state.
No, Shweta, it's a really good point. It is not new. Whenever we just go through the backup review from the last 14 years of the Indian sphere, what is the actually cause? Why terrorists are come in our country to create the something against the humanity? And just you go through the PIB report, PIB Home Department PIB report already published in 2018. You just check the report in the perspective of the terrorist attack. You get the information every year and every spot identified through this report. It is a clear. And after we have discussed in Bengal incident now. So it is clearly stand by the few political party from the 2019 election, when at the time of the brigade organized by the left, then Furfura Sharif one representative income. After the 2021 is the clear stand by the ISF created by in the support of the left. After that, Mamata Banerjee also supported to Muslim community, and similarly Thakur Bari the community also. But because everything is created for the political support. And after that, BJP also supported to Thakur Bari in another part also. And clearly, some BJP leader taken the stand for the Hindu vote. वन शुभेंदु बोल रहा है जो हम लोगों का मुस्लिम वोट नहीं चाहिए, मुस्लिम वोट नहीं देंगे तो हिंदू वोट हमको देंगे, हिंदू वोट से हम स्टेट पावर में आ जाएंगे. तो राइट दिस अप्रोच इज नॉट फॉर द right thing for the right politics.
All right.
So I think it is not only the question of the who is saying this money, how to create the crime in our Murshidabad, Malda, and all that area. So it is a question of the political will political people, political leadership are agreed to fight against the crime. So it is a big question for us.
Absolutely. A big question. In fact, going back to what we were discussing when it comes to the latest revelation in the case, we now know that the attack was planned for 3 months. There was a planned effort to create trouble in Murshidabad. In fact, the source of the money to the people who were organizing the riots has also now traced back to Turkey. So according to investigative agencies, about 500 rupees each was given to the stone pelters for creating disturbance, for looting the area. They were also provided training for the last 3 months to create the kind of havoc that they did in Murshidabad. This was in fact a planned attack where money was flowing systematically. Jayanta, I want to go back to you. You know, it's not just a planned attack that we now know of, that agencies are more and more coming out and giving the details of. It's also as much a problem of what did the state government really do. Now, Mamata Banerjee says that she mobilized her action force on time. She sent her best of officers. But the point is, there was a ruckus, there was a riot-like situation, and the inaction of the state government, that continues to be a pain point.
Before I come to that, Shweta, I reiterate. What were the intelligence agencies doing for 3 months? Why now? Why not earlier? Why
Right.
is it always that once the horse is away, you try to close the door? But you asked a very pertinent question. Knowing the situation at the borders, why is it that the government, and I mean the governments rather, the state as well as the union government, did not take more care about those areas? You know, all those border areas, not only Murshidabad, even Malda, all these places, one that I mentioned that they are porous. Number two, during every floods, there is what is known as erosion of the land. And in that case, even the river changes its course. And that is why there is the land also accordingly moves away towards each side. You will find islands which come up when the water is less and goes down when the water is more. That is, the rivers are flooded. Whenever it's in spate, these islands go down. Now, why I am talking about is that knowing all these geographical, political, diplomatic situation that is there at the border areas, doesn't the onus lie on both the governments, that is the state and the union, to have, as I say, more years on the ground? And we know as the buildup happens towards the elections, these things are expected to raise their ugly heads, as I put it. Now, talking about Mamata Banerjee, one thing I find, and that I have been talking about it lately, she has also mentioned it, but perhaps balancing that tightrope between administration and the organization, taking care of both, it is perhaps taking its toll. You have seen in recent incidents, whether it is the government or the organization, in both cases, there seem to be Mamata Banerjee is more a kind of, thinking about taking a step. She is known to be very impulsive earlier, but here we see that she's thinking more before she takes a step. In certain cases, she has not. She did not kind of, try to finish off the evil when it was rising. So it took a huge proportion. It became Dr. Frankenstein's monster in certain cases, and it has affected the chief minister and the Trinamool chairperson, as she is known. So all these cases taken together, it's not only a diplomatic or a geographical issue or a crime, of course, a law and order situation, but also there is this political will, the political need, the need of the hour that has to be implemented over there to take care of the situation.
Of political will, and I think it's a collective responsibility. Before I let you both go, Subir, one last comment, if you can keep it under 60 seconds. I think in the tussle between the state and the centre, especially in West Bengal, as it has been continuing now for a decade, it's the people who are suffering.
Oh, it's a truth. It's a political game. And Shweta, just I want to mention the tools, penetration tools. Why people have come to create this situation? Actually, it is a completely political penetration by the political party. If no necessity to make as a I am the Muslim or I am the extreme Hindu. to contact the community of Muslim community and communicate to Hindu community. So it is not necessary. If we are the national leader, we having some responsibility for our nation, then we make a proper work according to the constitution. So no need to provocate the we are the biggest Hindu, we are the biggest Muslim. Whenever intelligence branch identify to actual cause, maybe I am requested to intelligence agency, all intelligence agencies, please include the approach of the penetration by the political leader. So you go
Absolutely.
in proper route. So that is the basic cause.